What's good? Brian Tong here, and I'm actually on vacation right now, so if Apple sends out the invites to the fall event, I might be catching some waves when that happens. Oh well. This just like I predicted, Apple has officially announced its fall Apple event with this thermal mapping animation of the Apple logo on Apple's website. It's set for 9/9 at 10 a.m. Pacific time in Cupertino at Apple HQ, and I even got my own personal invite with a tagline, "Aw dropping." So get it, like jaw dropping. Now, don't get distracted by the fact that Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce announced their engagement on the same day either. But hold on, we've got something from our special correspondent right now.
So I told y'all I've catching some waves, all right? So look, Apple's event, September 9th, 10 a.m. Pacific time. It's happening. Inspiring? No. It's awesome. I can't remember the tagline, but look, I'm here. I will be there, and we'll see y'all soon, all right? Aloha.
Thank you for that, Brian, and we'll see what Apple officially announces, but you can see all my iPhone 17 lineup and Apple Watch Series 11 and Ultra 3 previews here on the channel. So back to you, Brian. But there's a lot to catch up on that I haven't had a chance to talk with you about. I've been traveling, and that's Apple's vision for the smart home. So let's talk about it because we already know it's been delayed after multiple reports pointed to a new smart home hub with a 7-inch display this year. Now, the display will be mounted on a speaker base that's very similar to the Google Nest Hub, or some reports said the display could potentially be mounted on a wall. It was expected to come out this year in 2025, but was reportedly delayed because of Apple's inability to deliver the new version of Siri with Apple Intelligence. And you know what? That's just a bad Apple. Now, a recent report from Bloomberg's Mark Gurman says Apple is in exploratory discussions with Google about using Gemini for a revamped version of Siri. And after watching the Google Pixel event and Magic Q in action, they should, because Google is already delivering on the promise of a truly personalized connected phone and then some, while Apple just keeps telling us we're bringing something sometime in 2026. The report says Apple is in early discussions with Google to potentially build a custom AI model using Google Gemini to power the Siri voice assistant. Apple's been exploring partnerships with multiple AI companies like Anthropic and OpenAI to be the brains of this new Siri. But this is the first time we've heard that Google's Gemini is now in the mix, and I've said it for a while, it's still the best AI when it comes to features that are friendly and useful for the general consumer while being smart. The report says Apple is still several weeks away from deciding on whether to use their own internal models or partner with another company. But if liquid glass was the big feature of WWDC 2025, and then you look at what we've seen publicly from other companies, not even what they're working on behind the scenes, but what they've released, Apple, it's time to get a partner. Now let's get back to the delayed smart home hub. It's reportedly running an operating system codenamed Charismatic, but it's different from iOS, iPadOS, and others because it's designed to be used by multiple house members. Like that just felt like a gut punch or a twist of the knife, because haven't we been asking for multiple users on an iPad for what feels like the first day it came out? And now they're giving that functionality to a specific smart home hub OS that is essentially running on a tablet instead of letting us just run it on our current iPads? Because if that's actually true, that's a bad Apple. Now, the Bloomberg report says the interface is focused on widgets for Apple apps, clock faces, and a version of Siri that has a more personified look, basically giving Siri a face, and Apple's reportedly testing using a look that resembles the Mac Finder icon, a little animated and friendly, I guess. The smart home hub will also have a front-facing camera that scans a person's face so it knows who they are and previous context and features for that user in their environment. It will run core Apple apps like Calendar, Music, Reminder, and Notes, but there will be no App Store on it. It's confirmed to have a touchscreen, but the expectation is to control most of its features with voice-based commands, and that's a big part of why it's been delayed. Now, this is just the beginning because, according to Gurman, the Charismatic operating system and the new version of Siri are the building blocks for a separate tabletop robot that Apple is aiming to launch in 2027. We'll get to that robot, but another place Apple wants to own the smart home is security. According to Mark Gurman, Apple is working on a Ring-like home security camera that will be integrated into the Home app, but it's unclear when it will launch. It would make sense if they could push it out together with their smart home hub, which is now in 2026, so they have a full solution on launch. I made it clear in a previous video that Apple needs to go all in with home security. Apple has the trust of consumers, and they need to make a push for home security with a modern design, a higher quality camera. You got iCloud storage recordings to upsell subscriptions, and then a reputation for protecting our data, which is heads and shoulders above the rest of the competition. Gurman reports the security camera will feature a battery that lasts for several months to a year, and it will be able to detect people and sense motion for home automation. This means it could do something like turn lights on in a room, or turn them off when you leave, or play music for someone when they can be seen on camera. Apple's working on multiple types of security products, like the reported doorbell camera, that would also use facial recognition to unlock a door. Now, HomeKit already supports third-party camera companies, and Apple offers secure cloud-based storage for them with iCloud. So it's a no-brainer that they would be able to do the same with their own cameras. And I've been bugging for them to do something like this when the first Nest thermostat came out, because that's what I felt like. Oh, hey, this feels like a product Apple would have made. And then logically, your mind goes to, why aren't you in the smart home, Apple, all these years? But it could finally be happening. And now let's talk about that tabletop robot coming in 2027, according to Bloomberg. These are all renders of what we believe it could be like, but we've heard rumors about this, and mostly from Mark Gurman's reporting. But this robot is expected to be a 7-inch iPad-like display mounted on a movable arm that can rotate and extend around 6 inches in any direction. That means it could even reposition itself to face whoever is speaking, and internally it's being referred to as the Pixar lamp because of the personality that it brings. It's basically a more interactive version of an iPad, and we've actually seen videos from Apple's own team working on this project a while back. The project is called Elegant, which stands for Expressive and Functional Movement Design for Non-Anthropomorphic Robot. One example shows Elegant following a book and responding to hand movements to either come closer or move back, and it's already interesting to see. Another video shows how it's been developed to be more expressive and have a personality to light this vase model here. I think that's what it is, versus just being straightforward and functional and mundane in how it works. Or another video shows Elegant acting more like a social companion and talking to the user about weather and activities with a lot more friendly animated movements. And you can see why internally they're calling this the Pixar lamp. And another fun one has Elegant reminding us to drink water by nudging it towards the person and then acting happy when the drink is taken. Hey, I need one of these. Or even do something like having fun here and bouncing to music together, doing a little robot dance. This thing's fun. Honestly, after watching this, I could actually see something like this be fun to have at maybe the edge of a table or counter if it can deliver a charming experience with useful functionality that makes our life better. I'm not saying everyone is going to have this, but there is definitely something there that gets your attention, and Apple is hoping their display on a robotic arm can do the same thing. Now, the tabletop robot will support FaceTime calls, and the arm will move around to follow a person's movements like Center Stage does with the camera. There's a whole lot of ideas around this thing, and Apple is still in the prototyping stage, so nothing has been set in stone, and we may not even see this come to market, but Apple is motivated to enter the smart home after all these years, and it's aiming for a 2027 launch. Gurman also threw in a little nugget that Apple is also developing a mobile robot with wheels and a large mechanical arm that could be used in manufacturing or their own retail stores. So it's clear Apple is investing and making a push into robotics, and the movement isn't something new. I've seen it evolve at CES every year with things like robot vacuums. There's now robot lawnmowers and robot pool cleaners, and even Jenny, the robotic emotional support dog. Aww. Now, there are other robots I can't even talk about because my nephew is watching this video, but robotics is going to be a huge and even bigger part of our lives in, let's say, the next 5 to 10 years. So buckle up, because Apple wants to be a part of it. All right, that's gonna do it for this video. If you like what you see, give me that thumbs up, subs up, and hit that notification bell ding, to get all my latest videos when they drop. And if you want more of that Apple goodness, you can check out my weekly Apple Bits XL audio podcast with the latest stories and special guests. Plus, you can support all my content with an ad-free version of the podcast, early access to my content, and exclusive content at patreon.com/BrianTong. So thanks so much for watching. Take care. I'm still on vacation. I'll be back soon, and we'll see you on the next video, all right? Peace and love and aloha!